उल्लू बनाई नव्हतं. वाच प्रमाणे which of the following objective of the Chandrayaan 3 mission? So the Chandrayaan 3 mission, that is a follow-on mission to Chandrayaan 2 to demonstrate end-to-end capability in the safe landing roving on the lunar surface, consists of the lander and the rover. There is one lander and there is a one rover. Okay, so this is Sriharikota. The propulsion module will carry the lander rover configuration 100 km. Propulsion module has a spectropolarimeter, that is the habitable planet Earth, that is shape, and this is polarimetric lunar orbit. This mission objective of Chandrayaan 3 is it will launch by LVM-3 from the STSC Shah Sriharikota. The propulsion module will carry the lander rover and 100 km lunar orbit. The propulsion module has spectropolarimeter and the habitable planet Earth. So to demonstrate the safe landing, to demonstrate the rover on the moon, conduct the in situ scientific experiment in the moon. Now third one is consider about the enforcement director. ED was appointed as per the provision of Delhi Special Police Force Establishment Act 1946. And this selection committee appointment ED is chaired by the Prime Minister of India, and the tenure of the enforcement director chief is vary from 2 years to the 5 year. So that is not 2 year to the 5 year. This is on the Monday resolved the judgment on a batch of the petition. EDs come under the Department of Revenue of Ministry of Finance, and this director of the enforcement is multidisciplinary organization that is appointed as per the provision of the Central Vigilance Commission Act 2003. The center appoint the director on the recommendation of the commitment with the Central Vigilance Commissioner as a chairperson, and other committee member are Secretariat of the Finance, Home and the Personal Training. It is mandated with the investigation of the money laundering and the foreign exchange law. The statutory function of the director include the enforcement of the following act. So this is a statutory directorate, and it is under the Central Vigilance Act of 2003. Hence statement is incorrect. So the correct one is only 1 and 2. This tenure enforcement is a 2 to 5 year, that is only correct, and 2 is incorrect. So one is this is a Central Vigilance Commission Act, not the Delhi Special Police Act. So this is wrong, and the selection committee for the appointment ED chief chaired by the Prime Minister, that is also not correct. Only this one is correct. So ED is the Department of Revenue and Ministry of Finance, and that is about Ministry of Finance. Okay, not the Prime Minister. Director of Enforcement is a multidisciplinary organization, and that it is mandated with the investigation of the offences of money laundering, and statutory function for the director include the enforcement of the following: prevention of the money laundering. Okay, it's Department of Revenue, prevention of the money laundering, and based on the Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1990 FEMA and the Fugitive Economic Offender Act, that is Fugitive Economical Offender Act. So this appoints the chief of the ED based on the recommendation of the high powered selection committee. That is, chief is not done through a competitive examination process but rather through the recommendation of the high powered selection committee. This chief central agency is currently have a fixed 2 year and now given the 3 annual extension also. Okay, so now which is the following is the true statement about the carbon border adjustment. It is the mechanism aimed to prevent the carbon leakages. So code legislate 2023 European Commission signed the carbon border adjustment mechanism, that is landmark tool for the fair price in the carbon emitted during the production carbon intensive goods, is to encourage the cleaner industrial production. EU non-EU country carbon border adjustment mechanism policy tool for level playing field in the country with the stringent climate policy, and more lax one. It was a WTO, that is rule follow the border adjustment under the specific be accurate, and that was a reliable measurement and verification system reducing for the industry and relocate the country less stringent climate policy. So this can be both protect domestic industry as well as protect the global decarbonization. So WTO compliant to avoid the legal disputes and mechanism should comply with World Trade Organization rule, and it is charge should be accurately reflect the carbon content imported goods, and reliable measurement and the verification system address the carbon leakages. Consider about the statement. A hypersonic weapon is weapon capable of the traveling between 5 to 25 times speed. Fatah is an Iranian hypersonic long-range ballistic missile developed by the Islamic. So that is not the long-range Iranian, and that is the 5 to 25. That is the hypersonic weapon, 5 to 25 speed. So hypersonic weapon 5 to 25 speed of the sound 1 to 5 miles per second, and the below this speed the weapon would be characterized as subsonic, supersonic, and the such atmosphere disassociated in the plasma, which make the control of communication difficulty. So this is laser operated directed energy weapons such as laser may operate the higher speed. Fatah is an Iranian hypersonic medium range ballistic missile developed by the Islamic Revolutionary Group of the unveiled 2023. Near it's given the high range ballistic missile developed by Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps recently. It is not recently, it was in 2023. Iran was first hypersonic ballistic missile that is high maneuverability and the speed allow it to defeat the all missiles. So it name meaning victory of this. Now, which is the following about the coalition for the disaster resilient infrastructure? This is primarily focused on the rebuilding infra in the country that have already experienced major natural disaster. So that is not true about this. Disaster infra is not true. That is, it's a primarily focused rebuilding infra in the country that already experts in major natural. That is not true. Okay, so why should we do this? So this coalition disaster infra is an international organization aimed to promote the resilience of new existing infra, sustainable development launched by Prime Minister of Narendra Modi. It advises the in transforming the way infra and the design, constructed and operated phase of climate change disaster risk. So bring together the numerous stakeholder and academia to address the complex interrelated challenges. The primary focus of for the disaster resilient infra not limited to the reconstruction of infra but major natural disasters. Our main goal was promote the design, construction and operate the infra system and more resilient. So this was a promotion of the research and knowledge sharing and promoting the incorporation of disaster and climate resilience into the infra planning and the development. Now, with reference to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it is the Arctic 5 of the 1949 North Atlantic Treaty is against one member is considered the attack against the all member. US is responsible for all NATO military operation. That is not true. So this military alliance NATO that was in 2000 and the 2019-49, that is the security among the member countries, and recently the Finland joined the NATO in the 31 member, and United States Canada the most country of the Europe open any the European country. Article 5 is an attack against one member is a considered an attack against all member. So that was about this, and its headquarters is Brussels, Belgium, and the several regional headquarters are Supreme Alliance of the Commander Europe is responsible for the NATO military operations, and that is NATO is a would create a problem for Russia. It will be further extend the NATO military presence influence closer to the Russian border. So that is about economical impact was NATO could also have economical implications for Russia as a Finland is an important trading partner. Finland were aligned more closely with NATO. It could lead to the economical sanctions over the Russia. With reference to Delhi Declaration, it is a proposed G20 nation to promote the cyber peace and the cooperation to prevent, the mitigate, and the investigate cyber incidents. So this Delhi Declaration, which is important for the Delhi Declaration, and which is important for the promote the cyber peace, prevent the mitigate the cyber incidents. So Delhi Declaration is open-ended working group UN के साथ है, and that is about this reduce the cyber attacks. UN peacekeeping forces is a 100th anniversary. No, and is one of the highest contributor in the UN peacekeeping. Yes, UN peacekeeping force are known by the term of green helmet. That is also not true. So UN Security Council approved the deployment of UN military observer to Middle East. UN peacekeeping establishment recently celebrated the 75th anniversary, not the 100th anniversary. So it was a 75th anniversary. Peace begin with me. Name is the peace begin with me. Begins with me, and that is aid to nation negotiating the perilous transmission of war to peace to carry out the several mission, that is UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly deploy soldiers, police and that is combines that is the UN peacekeeping missions and deploy an all-women contingent. It was a 179 Indian soldier have died, and now military personnel of the Blue Helmet are the military personnel of the UN that work for the UN police and the civilian collect to promote the stability and the peace process. Consider the following about the food safety. FASAI. FASAI is under the 2006 to consolidate the food safety. FASAI primarily responsible is to promote the biotechnology in India agriculture sector. That is not true. FASAI adulteration of the milk के लिए आया था, that is conduct the national level surveillance against the backdrop of the country facing alleged milk shortage. So the food safety is indeed establishment under the Food Safety Standard Act 2006, consolidate the multiple food laws and prevailing in the country into one, regulate the supervise the food safety standards and involve the science-based standard for the food products, regulating their manufacturing and storage, promote the biotechnology in the agriculture and the handled by the different organization, Department of Biotechnology and the Ministry of Science and Technology. The second statement is correct. That is Department of Biotechnology under the Ministry of the Science and Technology. Department of Biotechnology under the Ministry of the Science and Technology. Consider about the Indo-Pacific Islamic Cooperation (FIFIC). So FIFIC is a multinational grouping developed by the Pacific Island. FIFIC is summit is in the Fiji. FIFIC summit that was in the Fiji. Okay, it is in the Fiji first of all. So FIFIC summit that was held in the Fiji, and this FIFIC summit was in 2014, and that is developed to enhance the relation with the Pacific country. FIFIC including to the countries such as Australia, New Zealand. That is actually not correct. So small island nation of the Pacific Ocean or large ocean state, highlighting the importance of 40 member of the Forum of India Pacific Island Cooperation FIFIC 3, that is a Port Moresby, and this is spoke the free and open Indo-Pacific, and that is Forum for Indo-Pacific. It is multilateral grouping, and that is beginning of the more formal focused dialogue between the India and the Pacific Island, boosting the cooperation and the region various fields including the trade, investment, health, climate, and do not include the Australia, New Zealand, but Cook Island, Fiji, Kiribati, Marshall, Micronesia, Nauru, and Palau, Papua New Guinea. The Patriot system, it's a surface-to-air missile system developed by the United States of America. So this Patriot system, surface-to-air missile system, and that is designed to intercept and destroy the tactical ballistic missile and cruise missile advanced defense system of the world. Patriot is a US system. So okay, Patriot system is a mobile system that can be the quickly, easily. It is made of the number of the different components: radar, command control, and the missile. The Ajay Warrior, that is United Kingdom. So seventh edition of the Ajay Warrior India and United Kingdom biennial training events and build the positive military relations between India and the UK. NATO plus grouping, it is Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Israel, and the South Korea. See, the Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, and the Israel is also included. So NATO plus group is the New Zealand, Japan, Israel, and South Korea group work further towards the global defense cooperation and becoming a member of NATO. So this will begin the access to seamless intelligence and the latest military technology. That is the NATO Atlantic Treaty Organization 31 military North Atlantic Treaty, and that aim to the protect the peace and to the guarantee the terrorism, integrity and independence. Was the arm to the attack occur against one of the member, it should be considered the member and the other member of the attack. The blue bugging, it is a hacking technique that allow the individual to access device with the Bluetooth connection. So blue bugging is hacking technique device with the discover the Bluetooth, so that is access the link and the full control on it. The hacker can be read the send message and access the victim of the phone book and initiate the phone calls. Initially, the blue bugging focus on the enveloping or the bugging of computer with the Bluetooth capability, often limited due to the range of Bluetooth connection, which is goes up the 10 meter. So this was a clickjacking or the type of the cyber attack, and that is visitor into the unintentionally clicking a page, and attackers typically clock the page elements. Now next is the G7 term uses to describe in the group of 7. 47% of GDP, 32% GDP based on the purchasing power, 60% of the net worth. That is the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, United Kingdom, France, and Italy and Canada. G7 are the 46% of domestic globally. 32% of the GDP based on the purchasing power. And now G7 originally founded 1973 in the response to the collapse of the exchange rate, and these meets are at least the once per year to discuss the shared solution of global concerns, economy, trade, and security, and launch the financial aid heavy indebtedness. So this about the G7, and there is a Canada, Italy, Germany, and France, Japan, United Kingdom, and the United States. Of this nation, all seven are top-ranked country, highest net worth and per capita, and these are list of 10 countries with the largest gold asset. Out of this, 5 are on the list of 10 country which is the highest gold asset reserve. Okay, consider about the Senegal. The Senegal is from the Tamil Nadu will install new parliament building. The concept of is the ceremony transfer of power was introduced Lord Mountbatten Jawaharlal Nehru, and the Senegal ceremony was ancient India where the transfer of power take place in the Pandyan ruler and Padyan. So this is the Modi dedicated newly constructed building of the parliament, and Nehru went to transfer power took place in the British. That was a historic Senegal will be the parliament building. New parliament building was a central vista redevelopment project aimed to build a modern high capacity structure of the parliament. Old parliament house was building in the 1920 increasingly insufficient to accommodate the legislative. So the Senegal is a Tamil Nadu will in the new parliament significant historical symbol, and that back to the ancient Indian where the transfer of power used take place. Chola dynasty used a significant transfer of power, not the Governor General, and this was the Senegal ceremony. Rajgopalachari was tasked with the arranging the sculpture, and the Thiruvananthapuram, well known for the Tamil Nadu Tanjore, which is commissioned the manufacturing of the Senegal as a Chennai based Bengaluru Chetty. Now, Article 371, that is for the Sikkim. F 36 constitutional amendment, and that is for the Sikkim. Not less than 30 members are there in assembly. One seat is allotted to the Sikkim, and protecting the right and interests of the section of the country. Okay, now next 31A, that's Nagaland. B Assam. C Manipur. D for the Telangana. E for the Andhra Pradesh. F for Sikkim. G Mizoram. H Arunachal Pradesh. I Goa, and J Karnataka. Now Uzbekistan, that is progress in the judicial overhaul, Israel nationwide referendum, and the Sudan civil war. So what is happened? Uzbekistan nationwide referendum, Israel progress in judicial overhaul, and Sudan is civil war. So in Sudan there was a civil war. So which is pair is only one pair is correct. So hence one is correct only. Okay, that is a national referendum in Uzbekistan. But Israel there was a civil war. Sudan progress in judicial overhaul. Okay, so recently उज्बेकिस्तान में जो हुआ था दैट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट. नाउ इंटरनेशनल बुद्धिस्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस इट इज़ ऑर्गेनाइज यूनाइटेड कल्चर मिनिस्ट्री. द थीम इज़ द रेस्पॉन्सेज कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी चैलेंजेस फ्रॉम फिलोसफी ऑफ द प्रैक्सिस, and that is 30 country notable for the China response to the contemporary challenges from philosophy of praxis, Buddha Dhamma, peace Dhamma, environment crisis, sustainability, and the Nalanda Buddhist is also there. Okay, now next one is a consider the following about the north-south transport corridor. So it is a trade route connection various country Europe, Russia, Iran. This Rashtra Astra railway is a critical link to this. Okay, so this north-south corridor was a multimodal trade route for connect the India, Iran, and Russia. Various modes of the transportation, including the railroad, sea routes, are aimed to enhance the connectivity. And that's north-south transport corridor aimed to 7200 kilometer long trade corridor, and in link the Russian Baltic Sea and Arabian Sea also. So north-south transport corridor, that was Azerbaijan signed up the project and ratified by the 13 countries also, and that was railroad, sea, India Mumbai port, Arabian Sea extend through the Iran, Azerbaijan, facilitate the trade transportation between Iran and Azerbaijan. And along with this, so you can see this North Sea, Baltic Sea, then St. Petersburg, Moscow, Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran, India. These all are connected with the Suez Canal is also connected here. Okay, so alternative trade route that is bypass the traditional route through the Suez Canal. In India, Mumbai port, Azerbaijan's Arabian Sea, and Azerbaijan, Iran, and Russia. These all are connected with the railroad and the sea routes. So this